Back here on the 340, this last video here, it was when I put this number 7 piston in, it got to turning real hard, and I thought it was because of the vise that I had trouble getting the rings out and shoot up the piston. So I pulled the piston out. Sure enough, that's what it was, and I put it all back together again, and it turns over real easy now. It would have probably been alright before, but see, now I'm only using about 15-20 pounds of torque to turn it over.
No, I don't have a torque wrench here. I should.
They're short block. It's all done. That gasket set I had 2 of these big giant gaskets here, and this back one takes a little one. So I ordered another set from AutoZone. I've been cleaning my bolts up here. Had a 2 motors worth. A lot of them were rusted and broke, but I got enough in here to put on the timing cover and a good gasket and cinch it down all the way around. Got fuel pump on. So basically I have to wait for gaskets, and I can put on my oil pan. I looked everywhere for the oil pan bolts. Couldn't find them. We've got another oil pan somewhere. They might be in it. I dug through everything I had for this one. Didn't find them. And the other oil pan and motor is over here. I got some brackets and miscellaneous stuff. I just didn't see any oil pan bolts. They might be down this box with the pistons. I doubt it. So I guess that's it for today. First head is done. This is one I did the valve job on the other day, and I got new seals in it. By the way, there's 2 seals. You notice one of these is kind of big, and the other is a little short one. If you're wondering which ones to put on, the intake valve sucks. So when it's sucking in, you want to have a good valve, and these press down over the head pretty tight, and that keeps the oil out of that. And these are more like the stock ones. They go on the exhaust side, and they just ride up and down, let oil get onto the valve stem. So if you're wondering about these, the big one goes here on the intake valve, and the little one goes on the exhaust. I'm ready to clean this head up just a little more, and I can put it on the block. I never did get my pan gasket, but I got a couple bolts on it to hold it in, and so I can put one head on it. I don't know if I'll do that or not, but I've got a project coming. I don't know what it is, about a 42 truck rat rod. Wasn't finished, runs and drives kinda. The front end's messed up and some other things, but got my shop cleaned out a little bit. I got enough to room to get it in here. I'm going to have to keep it a few days. I got to fix the front end, and it's got a charging problem. It's just an unfinished rat rod, but that'd be kind of a interesting project here. So get me away from this motor. I still have to clean up that other head there. But I would have liked to put the pan on it because I've got oil in the pump. But I think I'll be alright just flipping it over. At least I can put that one head on it and get it out of my way and off that bench. Rat rod for now. I'm back on this 360. I got the valves out of the other head, and this thing, it looks like somebody welded this up. I can still see some pits in it. The pits are outside of the valve area, and I can see traces of weld down here inside. So somebody welded this head up and then they cut a seat in it. So interesting work. These are going to change the flow a little, but they should work. But I never seen that before. I don't know if that's a cast iron seat they welded in, or I have no idea. But it looks like it was probably sealing. So I'll try to grind it. I'm going to start with this one here and a little grinding valve grinding compound and a drill. I'm just going to try to seat these and put it back together. Seat cleaned up real nice. This weld part is not in the seat. This one here looks like it might have a little bit of trouble, but cleaned up good. I'm sure it won't leak. Press on with this job. Motor. Put a little light on the subject. I just figured that out. That's good, huh? But I finished up the valve job on this. Got the head on. This one's not torqued, but at least it's on and cinched down pretty good. I'll finish torquing it tomorrow. So, kind of done for now. Here on a 360. I started fooling around with these. I knew I had the rocker arms in right, but they didn't look right. And what I did, I had this big spacer in the middle and two little ones. But what it is the two big ones on the outside and the little one in the middle, and both and on each end. So anyway, now it looks like all my lifter ends are rocker tips are lining up with the springs. I rolled it over. It seems to turn over a little better. So anyway, all I have to do is torque them down now, and my push rods and everything are in on the camshaft. I lubed it real good with assembly lube and poured a lot of oil on everything. So I should be good to go to put the manifold on. Here we go. I siliconed this all real good around the corners. Got the gaskets on straight. It's all been bolts cleaned up and everything. It's torqued down to 35 foot-pounds. Manifold's on. I cleaned up all the surfaces real good to bare metal. Looks like I probably need to paint it a little more in here. But for sure the gaskets are right. This one might be just a little high. Or maybe this one's a little low. But not very much. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference on this motor. Everything turned over freely. All I got to do is put a distributor in it. Figure out my water pump bolts. But basically the block's back together. So Mr. 318's done. I got the timing here on top dead center on the compression stroke. Good enough to stick a distributor in it and line it. Next thing is to put the valve covers on it. I've got them over here. I think I need to clean the gasket off. Put some gaskets on it, find me some good bolts, and I can put the valve covers on it, and I should be good to go with this motor being buttoned up. Well, here's Mr. Short Block done. Manifold's in, torque down, valve covers are on, all the gaskets are good. I used Permatex gasket maker, so the manifold will come off, the gaskets are glued to the head, valve covers will come off, the gaskets are glued to the valve covers. It's all good. I couldn't find all my little valve cover bolts, so I just used some little grade 8 bolts in it. So that's all good. Took a while, and 2 motors to get to this point. I just have to wait for my pan gasket, and I can bolt that up, and this motor's done. I think I'm going to try to make me a stand to mount this on and start it and run it, because I have to use the transmission for the starter. Anyway, Mr. 360's done.